Tonight, on the 13 o'clock news, we'll tell you how to prevent long delays in spaceport lines.
One of today's popular fad diets might just kill you. Stay tuned to see if you need to panic.
And Hugh Target reports live on recent disappearances in city parks.
Channel 16 Action News starts now.
From WDCN, the news leader, this is Channel 16 Action News.
Good evening, I'm Kitty M. Morrill.
And I'm Slade Branna. Tonight's top story. We begin tonight's broadcast with an Amber Alert for two missing children. Peregrine Took and Meriadoc Brandybuck were reportedly kidnapped by a band of orcs. While it is unclear why orcs were involved in a kidnapping scheme, sources tell Channel 16 News that the pair are being taken through the lands of Rohan. More details as the story unfolds.
Traffic outside of DragonCon came to a screeching halt for several hours today as several Imperial walkers came down Peachtree Street about 10 o'clock this morning. An Imperial spokesman told WDCN that the troop incursion was related to an investigation of rebel activity in the area. In a related note, officials raised the Imperial threat level from mauve to fuchsia.
Transportation officials are currently reviewing the findings of an investigation at Clark Intergalactic Spaceport. Fred Umber has this report.
Travelers have filed numerous complaints with spaceport officials about waiting lines at security checkpoints. Travelers are reminded that security checkpoints may cause delays between 15 minutes and 7 hours. Delays can be reduced by observing these simple guidelines. Place all metal objects and carry-on luggage before entering the security line. Deactivate cybernetic implants prior to screening. The following items are not permitted as carry-on any commercial flight: knives, swords, batlets, dilithium crystals, slingshots, phase disruptors, phasers, knitting needles, plasma arcs, denbach, blasters, PPG, liquid Schwartz, imploder lances, BB guns, hairspray, lightsabers, and tribbles. Officials say that by using these simple tips, travelers are assured a quick trip through security screening at any spaceport. For Channel 16 Action News, I'm Fred Umber.
Thanks, Fred. Coming up later in the broadcast, we'll tell you about a new controversial diet that may be extremely harmful to your health.
But first, we'll take this commercial break and come right back with the local weather report. Stay tuned.
Channel 16 Action News is sponsored by Mummy Soft, the toilet paper that wraps you in softness. Goth Eye for the Straight Guy, the new hit series on Draco. And Kellogg's Death Cereal, the cereal for the goth and all of us. Stay tuned. Channel 16 Action News will return.
Welcome back to Channel 16 Action News. I'm Kitty M. Morrill.
I'm Slade Branna. This just in from your Channel 16 Action News desk. The Amber Alerts issued for Hobbits Peregrine Took and Meriadoc Brandybuck have been rescinded, as both have been determined to be not children, but actually very small adults. An anonymous source tells Channel 16 Action News that the halflings are believed to have been kidnapped and possibly taken towards the land of Rohan, but no further information is available at this time. A significant reward is being offered for their safe return. To collect, simply go to your nearest tavern and bellow out the location of the missing halflings. Your reward will arrive shortly.
Thanks, Slade. On tonight's Community Eye, Channel 16 Action News investigates the area's growing immigrant labor population. Joyce Lanterman reports.
As local farmers prepare for another harvest, immigrant laborers cross the borders looking for part-time work. Every morning, illegal aliens gather at gas stations and shopping centers looking for day labor. These workers, who prefer to be referred to as undocumented beings, accept a variety of jobs. Desperate for an opportunity at a better life, these aliens work on whatever pays the bills. Officials are concerned that undocumented workers are exploited, working long hours for low pay in unsafe conditions. In a time of economic recovery, some feel that these illegal aliens take jobs from local workers. Area farmers are the primary employers of immigrant labor, using their skills in every aspect of business.
Yes, sir. They're real good with the animals, just as long as you keep them away from the cattle. Every once in a while, you get one or two of them that don't work out, but that's life.
For Channel 16 Action News, I'm Joyce Lanterman.
Thank you, Joyce, for that completely uncompelling report.
Shut up, Slade, you bald hack. And now it's time for Action Sports with William McNasty.
Thanks, Kitty. Willie McNasty is ready with sports action for you. Controversy still surrounds Sunday's Klingon Bowl halftime show, where intergalactic recording has-been DanceBot 2.0 exposed major parts of her interface circuitry in what was originally described as a casing mishap. League officials have declined comment pending an investigation of the event. DanceBot 2.0 was unavailable for comment. In case you missed the game, the Duras Destroyers were victorious over the Kasara Conquerors in a brutal 17-14 overtime match. The game featured 2 decapitations, 4 broken legs, several cracked ribs, and 1 suspension for dishonorable conduct during a celebration in what league officials have referred to as good, clean family fun. In baseball, league officials are currently debating the Hall of Fame nomination of Mars Blue Jays slugger Randolph Myers. A fan favorite, Myers ended the season with a record 117 home runs. Officials are concerned that Myers' batting record is skewed by Mars' lower gravity, giving him an unfair advantage in the record books. Ruling is expected by the end of the week. And that's sports. Back to you, News Babe.
Thanks, Willie. Nice to know you're using that college degree to its full potential.
Be quiet, Kitty, or we'll send you back to the morning show. And now, it's time for Action Weather with Jim Peterson. Jim, what kind of action-packed weather forecast do we have in store for DragonCon?
Yeah, the weather report is nothing, because it turns out that the entire convention is indoors.
So, that's it then.
Back to you.
Well, that was informative. Thanks, Jim. Lousy agent. Can't believe he talked me into this gig.
After the break, Channel 16 Action News goes live to field reporter Hugh Target in the field.
We'll finally get around to telling you which new fad diet may or may not be hazardous to your health.
And Kitty and I will debate on tonight's installment of Point Counterpoint.
Except it won't be much of a challenge for me, since Slade is a college dropout who only has this job because Daddy owns the network. Stay tuned.
Channel 16 Action News is sponsored by Survivor Sunnydale, Outwit, Outlast, Outplay, and Nordic Vampire Vacations, 24 hours of darkness, the perfect vacation. Stay tuned. Channel 16 Action News will return.
Welcome back to Channel 16 Action News. I'm Slade Brenna.
And I'm Kitty Immoral. Area residents have recently reported a series of strange disappearances in city parks. For more on this story, we go live to field reporter Hugh Target.
Kitty, law enforcement agencies refuse specific comment on the recent reports, saying only that increase in violent crime has been observed in city parks. While Channel 16 Action News does not have specific details, we do have this set of safety tips to pass on to our viewers. People should avoid coming out to parks after dark. If you are out after dark, remember to travel in large groups and be aware of your surroundings. There is no more important aspect of personal safety than total awareness of... Jesus!
Apparently we have some technical difficulties with our live feed. We'll return to Hugh later in the program.
The new fad diet Fatkins has come under fire for its potential health hazards. An exhaustive study was commissioned by the diet's creator, Dr. Tippenscale. After months of research, scientists at the Intergalactic Center for Personal Density released the following statement, quote, "Well, we're just not sure."
Sorry to interrupt your babbling, Slade, but I think we have Hugh back live at the park. Hugh, can you hear me?
Sorry about that, Kitty. As I was saying, people are encouraged to come to the park after dark, especially if they are alone and defenseless. Women are encouraged to wear awkward clothing, such as high heels, tight dresses, or anything that makes it difficult to run. Master says, local officials encourage citizens to enjoy the city recreational facilities at all hours of the night. Live. Well, reporting from the area park. This is Hugh Target for Channel 16 Action News. Back to you, Kitty.
Thanks, Hugh, for that terribly confusing report.
And now it's time for Point Counterpoint.
Tonight's topic, Star Wars or Star Trek? Which is the best sci-fi universe?
I don't even know why we're talking about this, Kitty. It's obvious that Star Trek is the superior science fiction universe. The Star Trek franchise has spanned 4 decades, still produces a weekly television series, and has legions of fans that make science fiction conventions like DragonCon possible. Star Trek makes it possible for science fiction to live long and prosper.
Slade, Slade, Slade. It's not surprising that a man of your limited intellect would think that Star Trek is superior to Star Wars. The fact is that the popularity of the original Star Wars movie allowed that canceled television show from the 1960s to come back from the dead. George Lucas raised the bar for all science fiction with Star Wars, not only with superior special effects, but a compelling universe that has been expanded through numerous books and movies. Without Star Wars, science fiction fans would be relegated to pulp novels and movies so bad they could only be used as Sci-Fi Channel original pictures.
So, Kitty, your ex-husband was right. It seems you're nothing more than an attractive woman cursed with the ability to talk nonsense. Star Trek has promoted the noble exploration of space and advancement of technology since the American space race. Scientists and engineers have used Star Trek as a template for many modern inventions. The fact is, Star Trek has consistently done what Star Wars cannot, produce compelling books, movies, and a TV series.
Compelling movies and television series? Slade, you need to wear more sunscreen. Solar radiation has obviously affected your brain. How can you sit there and claim that movies like Star Trek V, The Undiscovered Country, where God tries to hijack a spaceship, is compelling? How can you waste precious oxygen telling people that Deep Space Nine, a poorly conceived soap opera produced to keep Babylon 5 from taking over sci-fi television, is quality programming? No thanks. I'll take a good Timothy Zahn novel than be assimilated by Enterprise any day.
Kitty, you ignorant slut. Any franchise that takes 20 years to conceive a movie as mediocre as The Phantom Menace deserves to be fed to Klingons as a light appetizer. While Star Trek creates the Borg and transporter technology, Star Wars introduces Jar Jar Binks.
Misa's so annoying. Misa computer generated. Please don't hurt Misa.
Oh, please. One of Mud's women could take Jar Jar in a fight. The fact is, your little toy franchise doesn't hold a candle to the mighty Federation. Plus, men like Jean-Luc Picard prove that bald can be sexy.
Slade, please. Kids are watching. Besides, your bald Frenchie has nothing on Mace Windu.
That's just sad. I'm sure the Borg wouldn't even bother to assimilate you.
Wow, it looks like that transporter accident replaced the evil Slade with the stupid Slade.
Oh my gosh, it's Bimbo Jim, but not as we know it.
Quiet, you scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Who are you calling scruffy-looking, stormtrooper groupie?
Shut up, you polyester miniskirt chasing Kirk wannabe.
Ewok lover? That's it! This time, you've gone too far!
Are they dead?
Worse, I think they blasted each other.
Really?
Yeah, you know what this means? Promotion! Sweet!
For Channel 16, I'm Jim Peterson.
And I'm Willie McNasty.